Russian forces deploy a massive column to capture Ukrainian positions. Tanks equipped with hangar protection and BMPs full of infantry drive past the destroyed comrades and open fire. Russian soldiers sit on top of armored vehicles and prepare to attack. Meanwhile, an artillery unit is deployed to suppress the positions of Ukrainian soldiers. Russian artillery is firing shells one after another. Meanwhile, a column of 4 armored vehicles moves closer to Ukrainian positions. But Ukrainian defenders were ready. A day before the assault, Ukrainian intelligence used a Vampire drone to place mines on the potential assault route of Russian forces. Fully equipped with large explosives, Ukrainian drone flies over and mines the area. Not knowing that the field is mined, Russian armored vehicles drive closer, and then this happens. Mines detonate, taking out 2 Russian BMPs. Meanwhile, Ukrainian FPV drones begin a real hunt on the remaining vehicles. Russian tank tries to escape hiding in the bushes, but Ukrainian drone operators leave no chance to escape. FPV drones follow the target and strike from different directions. FPV drone strikes the tracks, immobilizing the tank. The crew quickly abandons the vehicle and flees. Meanwhile, more FPV drones are deployed to finish off the burning tank. As the result, the engine catches fire and starts burning. Russian tank is completely destroyed. Meanwhile, the last remaining armored vehicle tries to reach its destination. It is heavily protected from FPV drones, but on its own, it is just a matter of time until this vehicle turns into a pile of burning metal. Ukrainian FPV drone was already up in the sky, following its target. Precise hit, but Russian armored vehicle remains on the move. Ukrainian bomber drone flies over the target and drops the explosives. Russian soldiers jump off and try to take cover. Meanwhile, Ukrainian FPV drones keep striking one after another. The crew tries to escape, but they immediately drive on a mine. After another strike from Ukrainian FPV drone, the last vehicle is finally stopped. For the next assault, Russians deployed a bigger column. T-80 tanks and 3 armored vehicles begin the attack. Russians drive closer and split their forces to attack Ukrainian positions from different directions. Russian T-80 tank with a mine-clearing equipment drives ahead of the armored vehicles. Ukrainian Mavic drone tracks the movement of Russian column and reports the coordinates to Ally artillery forces. 152mm artillery is deployed. Russian column keeps advancing, but everything changes when Ukrainian FPV drones join the battle. Drone strikes Russian tank, setting the engine on fire. Russian armored group reaches the city, and the soldiers quickly jump off the tank. That's when Ukrainian artillery receives the coordinates and opens fire. Direct hit from Ukrainian artillery and Russian BMP is completely destroyed. A Vampire drone also joins the battle and drops the explosives to immobilize Russian armored vehicles. Russian soldiers realize that there is no escape and abandon their armored vehicles. Meanwhile, a whole swarm of FPV drones takes them out one after another. Russian tank managed to make it back to the field, but this will not help. Ukrainian FPV drones use AI tracking system and leave no chance to escape. As the result, the whole column was completely destroyed, and the assault ended up as a total disaster. This Russian column was sent to deploy infantry in one of Ukrainian cities. Tanks and BMPs equipped with heavy protection break through minefield and continue the attack. Meanwhile, Ukrainian artillery receives the coordinates of Russian armored vehicles and opens fire. The shot damages one of the vehicles. Meanwhile, Ukrainian FPV drones catch up and strike Russian BMPs. Precise hit from Ukrainian FPV, and the vehicle stops. The ammunition detonates, leaving nothing but a bunch of burning scrap. Meanwhile, 2 Russian armored vehicles reach the destination and prepare to deploy infantry. Ukrainian FPV drones keep striking Russian BMPs, leaving no chance to gain foothold. Drone hits Russian BMP, directly causing massive damage. The crew drives to the end of the street and bumps into a destroyed APC. Russian soldiers quickly jump off and take cover in the nearest buildings. Ukrainian 152mm artillery receives the coordinates and opens fire. A precise hit. After this shot, Russian soldiers quickly change their position, but Ukrainian artillery leaves no chances to hide and fires a second shot. Shell lands directly on the new position. Meanwhile, FPV drones strike the motionless armored vehicle. As the result, the ammunition starts burning, and few seconds later, it detonates. The assault is finished. But the next day, Russian forces sent even a bigger column on yet another assault. More than 10 armored vehicles head straight to Ukrainian positions. Intelligence drone reports the coordinates to artillery forces, and the shot is fired. A close hit, but it's not enough. The second shot is fired. Precise hit takes out the first BMP. Meanwhile, Russian column enters the city and continues the attack. The number of armored vehicles grows as they move closer, but Ukrainian forces were ready. A swarm of FPV drones strikes the head tank of the column. As the result, the road gets blocked. That's when the rest of the column becomes an easy target for Ukrainian artillery. Precise hit from Ukrainian artillery takes out one more armored vehicle. Russian soldiers begin to panic and bump into each other. Meanwhile, a Vampire drone was deployed to finish off the abandoned armored vehicles. Russian soldiers realize that the assault ends in disaster and begin to retreat. Ukrainian drones keep striking Russian column, leaving no chance to escape. As the result, a massive column of more than a dozen armored vehicles and tanks was stopped by Ukrainian FPV drones. The battlefield turns into fire show as Ukrainian drones finish off the abandoned tanks. Here, a Russian high-caliber artillery was spotted. Ukrainian intelligence drone reports coordinates to the HIMARS operator, and the missile is fired. The missile hits Russian artillery directly on the roof, which results in massive detonation. Later, Russian soldiers shared a footage of what is left from the system, a bunch of scrap metal with the turret laying few meters away. These 3 APCs tried to break through and capture Ukrainian positions. The coordinates are immediately reported to the artillery forces, and the shot is fired. A close hit. Russian APCs pass the minefield and continue the attack. Meanwhile, Ukrainian drone operators prepare a large FPV drone. Drone penetrates the armor. The first APC is stopped. Ukrainian Vampire drone is deployed to finish off the abandoned APC. As the result, ammunition detonates, leaving just a bunch of burning metal. Meanwhile, Ukrainian drone operators continue striking the remaining armored vehicles. After a direct hit from FPV drone, Russian APC stops. The crew abandons the vehicle and flees. Ukrainian drone operator takes his time and flies an FPV drone into open hatch. As the result, the engine starts burning, taking out the second APC. The last one is remaining. It managed to drive very close to Ukrainian positions, but Ukrainian FPV drones leave no chance to gain foothold. The first drone causes massive damage, and the second drone completely finishes Russian APC. Russian assault is now completely finished. And here a position of Russian self-propelled artillery was spotted. Russian soldiers used it to shell Ukrainian positions. The coordinates are reported to the rocket forces and HIMARS opens fire. The ammunition detonates, tearing Russian artillery apart. And here a group of Russian intelligence was spotted. Russian soldiers launch a long-range drone to gather the intelligence. They were about to leave the position, but Ukrainian HIMARS receives the coordinates and takes a shot. Missile hits with pinpoint accuracy, destroying the target. Russians send a small vehicle to evacuate their soldiers, but Ukrainian FPV drones leave them no chance to escape. Russians deployed an artillery unit to shell Ukrainian positions. A truck full of ammunition is towing a 152mm howitzer to the firing position. But Ukrainian forces were ready. An FPV drone was already up in the sky, chasing its target. Drone hits the truck, setting it on fire. Target is destroyed.